I do not like the look of the Gorn in Enterprise at all.
Is it just because it's so obviously CG?
Yeah, the CG does not work really at all to me. Maybe in 2000 whatever it was, 2004.
Yeah, 2000 or 2005, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
2005.
this of course is in a Mirror Darkly Part 2, the
Right.
Mirror Universe episode on Enterprise, where we have the Gorn Slar
Yeah.
is a slave master aboard the USS Defiant, which had disappeared in the Tholian web, and it pops up in a different universe in a different time.
Tholians, you say, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I mean, to me the problem is that the CG, while passable, I guess, in that at that time period, is just so bad. Like, they didn't have much money to work with. TV CG now is at least acceptable. It just looks bad. And to me, if you're going to bring the Gorn back, and I think, to me, there's a reason they never had before. I don't think it was just like, we just don't want to do a TNG alien. I just think the Gorn was so special and iconic within the world of Star Trek that no one really wanted to do it unless you're going to give it a really great reason
Yeah.
to come back.
Why try to reach back to perfection?
Exactly.
Won't you just stumble? Which they did.
There's a lesson there.
I think there were some interesting things that they were trying to do with Slar in that I loved his kind of he had a more regal voice than I ever thought.
I love the voice of the Gorn in the original series.
The slithery snake voice.
The one that was like, trying to get Kirk to turn himself in. He's like, I will be merciful. It's just like the most like bizarre pronunciation of English. And he's just like walking around doing like both like the roars and these awkward English sentences. I kind of love it. Like if you take me back to like that year, 1966, and they're like telling him like, do the voice of a reptile man. It's like, that's the voice.
Okay.
There's no question. But yeah, the one when we see in Enterprise, yeah, it's a little more civil.
I dig what they're trying to do it a little different. It's also a mirror universe.
Yes.
So and look, there's also a great gag where they engaged the gravity plating and pulled Slar down to the ground, which is pretty fun to watch.
Slar feel like a bit of a pushover to you though?
I don't know. He's versus the original Gorn.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll say Slar seemed pretty dang tough, but if you put Slar up against the original Gorn, yeah, the original Gorn is taking it home.
I mean, the original Gorn is getting boulders like bowled right into his head and getting up.
Like Kirk was literally going to have to take like a diamond stalactite and jam it through his eye socket in order to kill him after shooting him with this cannon.
Right.
And the only reason he was able to build that cannon cam is because that planet they were on, it was a mineralogist's dream.
Tyler, if you were dropped on that planet, would that ever occur to you to build that gun?
I would run away from the Gorn as fast as I could.
Do you think you could keep away from the Gorn?
I
think I could.
But it's a reptile, though. Like,
yeah, that's true.
I think that it could catch up to you pretty quickly.
And do reptiles need much sleep?
Probably not. Maybe. Well, what about alligators, though? All they do is rest.
That's true.
So, I don't know. I don't know what I would do to defeat. I would not be able to figure out a ballistic weapon like Kirk did.
Apparently, Mythbusters did an episode where they tried to recreate that weapon.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
I'm shocked.
Well, it's funny because I've seen this episode, I don't know, 5-6 times. Every time I watch it, when I'm watching him build the weapon, I'm like sitting forward in my seat trying to understand how this thing works.
Okay, so you've got sulfur.
Yes.
And you've got diamonds, which still remain in the 23rd century the hardest known substance in the galaxy.
I feel like that's not the case.
Yeah, but
okay.
According to them.
Adamantium isn't in that universe.
Yeah. And there's one other, phosphates that I think they threw in there.
Right.
How exactly did Kirk get it to ignite? I don't recall that part.
Well, he lit a fire using coal and sparking it off that metal microphone thing he was carrying.
Yeah.
I never understood the point of that microphone, actually, because they give it to both him and the Gorn, and Kirk decides to start doing logs with it.
Well, I thought it was supposed to be like the universal translator.
Well, it kind of was.
Yeah.
Because the Gorn is talking to Kirk through it, but Kirk is doing like captain's logs into it.
Yeah, that didn't... okay, sometimes these captain logs, like, it's 1960s television.
Yeah.
But you literally see Kirk beamed onto this planet, and then you come back from commercial break, and he's going, Captain's log, I've just been beamed onto a planet. It's like, really? Are you speaking in first person in real time, like right then and there? You're narrating it, bro. It's like, yes, exposition central. That was clunky.
If you were dropped on a planet with a Gorn that wanted to kill you, and they hand each of you like metal microphones, does it occur to you to start doing captain's logs?
That could end up on my epitaph, so I just maybe, it'd be like, this is the last memory anybody will have for me. I love you, Mom. Yeah. I don't think it's out of question here.
Now, one thing I want to talk about is the idea of villainizing the Gorn. Because what I love about the original series is that the Gorn are viewed as enemies throughout the episode, but we learn through the Metron. We learn that the Gorn weren't evil. They thought that they were being invaded by Starfleet. And it kind of takes away that element of ugly aliens are evil that we talk a lot about on this show and that Star Trek seems to often support.
Oh, yeah.
But when we get to Slar on the Enterprise episode, it becomes a little shadier because, again, he's...
No, not at all.
You don't think so?
No, it's a mirror universe, Cam.
Well, that's true enough.
So everybody's evil there, so I think that can totally support the idea that Gorn are just misunderstood.
Yeah, I guess that's fair enough.
I can
he
totally
is a slave master.
Yeah, in a mirror universe.
He's a misunderstood slave master.
I bet if he was in the regular universe, he'd be like, I don't know, a rowing instructor. Something like that.
Row.
Yeah. And then Spock, Kirk, and McCoy can chime in and start singing campfire songs.